Starting.
Sure? Start.
My dear loving brothers and sisters of India, wake up. Till today, for 60 years, we are in a deep sleep. The great dream that Indian democracy was successful. India is a successful democratic country externally, but internally, Indian democracy was failed due to the lack of knowledge of the people, that the voters of India. The political leaders of India are treating the voters as a voting machine. They are purchasing the voters for every 5 years once, and they are casting our votes, and they are ruling our country unconstitutionally. They need only the posts of the MLAs and MPs, but they do not want the welfare of the country. It leads to undeveloping status of the India, and the belief of the political leaders that the only thing, if we wins as MLAs and MPs, we stay in that post for 5 years. But why we should give that chance to the political leaders? If they did any unconstitutional way of ruling, immediately we should take them out from the post. It is called right to recall. In most of the democratic countries in Western countries, the right to recall was successfully implemented. We should fight for it, and we should bring a political crisis in India to bring right to recall in Indian constitution by amending the Indian constitution. It should become as a fundamental right of the Indian citizen. Then the tremendous changes will get in Indian democracy, and the Indian democracy is successful. The main criticism on right to recall, the main criticism on right to recall is that we are spending lot of money on right to recall. I asked the political leaders and the critics who criticize the right to recall that even the Indian Prime Minister has spending a lots of money for his personal use. It's not a waste of money. It's a Prime Minister money or a political party's money. It's the people's money. We are asking a right. It's our right. We need right to recall in Indian constitution to change the democracy, to change the country. Today we are saying India is a developing country. Why India is a developing country? From past history, India has developed, but in history, the external Britishers were exploited the Indian wealth, and after independence, the internal Britishers, that is the political leaders of India, has exploiting the wealth of India. It leads to developing stage, but India is a developed country. We have a great historical background, we have a great heritage, and we have a great wealth. But where we are lacking, the good administration was not there in India. To get a good administration, we should fight. We should bring a right to recall by taking a political crisis in Indian Parliament. We should demand all the political parties to come under a single stand about the right to recall. According to my view, we should bring referendum in Indian constitution, in Indian democracy. Referendum. What is meant by referendum? If a political leader did any mistake or ruled unconstitutional way, we should remove him from his office before 5 years. It leads a fear in political leaders, and it makes political leaders to conscious that the voters, the people are takes our post before 5 years. Even today, the political leaders are treating us as a puppets in their hands. What is the real meaning of a democracy? We forgot. According to Abraham Lincoln, democracy is a people's government. But what today in India has happening is, it is a political leaders' government, not a people's government. We need people's government in India, but not a political leaders' government. To bring people's government, we need recall RTR Act. RTR Act. What is meant by RTR Act? Right to Recall Act. We should fight. Many of the political leaders in political parties had fight against right to recall, and they changed their stand. Even Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal has supporting right to recall, and Anna Hazare is supporting right to recall. Even communist parties are supporting right to recall. But some of the bourgeoisie parties are not supporting right to recall. We should demand them. We should bring a political crisis and we should ban the parliamentary system in India. Then there is a great change in the
నేను నేనేం చెప్పరా అందరి ఫేమ్
Dear friends, I am a friend of you. My name is Nikhil. If you support the right to recall, if you support my views, please log on to my ID and go to
We will
YouTube,
text.
share it and send it.
ఐడి చెప్పరా
మీ ఐడి
Nikhil Mahesh @gmail.com.
ఫేస్బుక్ ఐడి ఉందా
Facebook ID, Gmail ID.
ఫేస్బుక్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఫేస్బుక్
రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది ఇక్కడ
Nikhil Mahesh @gmail.com.
ఫేస్బుక్ లేదు
Nikhil Mahesh ID.
పిచ్చోడా ఆ లెవెల్